Alright, we're getting ready to start doing functions, and these notes are on different functions from lesson 5. A function is a predetermined formula that's built into your software. So in order to access functions, you either need to go to your AutoSum button or go to your formulas, and it has various functions there for you. These are the part of the functions where a formula you have equals, and then you'll have a cell and a mathematical operator somewhere in between telling them what to do. You'll have the equal sign, your function name, and then you have what's known as an argument, which is the range of cells that you want to use in your function. This is an example of sum that's up here. These are some of your main ones. You have sum, max, min, average, count. These are some of the very basic ones. Of course, sum adds. Max finds the highest number. Min finds the lowest. Average does an average of the range that you select. And then count counts how many. There's a couple of ways to get to your functions. One, again, you can go to your formulas ribbon to get them. Also, beside your formula bar, you'll see an FX that you can click on there, and you'll see it opens up your insert function dialog box. And in your insert function dialog box, you have a couple of things. Search for function. This is, if you're looking for a function, you can type it up here and then click go, and it will find your function. Where it says beside the or select this category where it has most recently used are ones that you've used just recently, and it shows them down here at the bottom. If you need to use something else, you can click on it, and over here is an example where you can click all, where it shows you all functions. Financial, which only shows you financial functions. Date and time only shows you date and time functions, and so on and so forth. The AutoSum button, which is located on your home ribbon, look, this is your AutoSum button. When you click the drop down, you have some of the basic ones that were used, the ones that are used more often: sum, average, count numbers, max, min. If one of the functions that you need is not on this screen, then you can click more functions and will open up your function or insert functions dialog box. Your recently used, these are all in your formulas ribbon. If you click recently used, you'll see counta, date, network days, dollar, sum. These have been functions that have been used recently. The financial functions, these are the financial functions. They'll do calculations such as like loan payments, car payments, house payments, those type of things. The main one that we'll probably use in this course is PMT. Logical functions mean they check for conditions or criteria. If it meets this condition, it's the answer. If it meets this specific criteria, if it's the answer. It can put different things that you tell them to put for the answer. Some of the most common ones are if, and, not, or. If it meets this criteria, then put this answer. If not, then you need to put another answer. If it's true, put a particular answer. Using logical functions, again, these are some of your various logical functions. It's normally going to have a true or false value, and then you can sometimes, it doesn't necessarily put true or false. You can have it put something different. For example, this is an if function, which is a logical function. And if the if function down here, this is an example of what an if function will look like. It says if, and in your criteria, if A1 is greater than 10. So these are your true and false here, where over 10 is and 10 or less. So if it's true, it's going to put, if A1 is greater than 10, then in the cell it's going to put over 10. If it is not, and it proves to be false, then it will put the words 10 or less. Okay? If you look at it in syntax form, this is what it looks like. If, that's your function, the logical test, which is going to be whatever cell, and your logical test will have a cell, a comparison operator, so in other words, greater than, less than, equals something there, and then a criteria to meet. It could be another cell, or it could be a text, word, or a number there. And then your value of true, which is separated by commas, and then your value of false. This one here says, for example, this is your logical test, A10 equals 10. 100, sorry. A10 equals 100. That is your logical test. It is a cell, a comparison operator, and then another criteria. Again, this criteria could be a word, a number, or it may even be another cell. If it's a word, you need to put quotation marks around it. These are the comparison operators that you would use in there. Notice that this one means not. If you have a greater than, less than facing one another, it means not. When you do greater than or equal to or less than, you have to put the equal sign behind it. It's not like math where we can put it underneath. A text function is going to deal with text. It's going to look for text. So maybe lower is looking for lowercase text. Okay. Left means it's going to have them align left. Replace means it's going to replace the text. Find is going to find the text. Your date and time functions do exactly what it says. You can have date and time. If you do now will put the exact date and the time of right this minute when you use it. If you use today, it puts today's date. Days 360 will find how many days are between two different dates. For example, if you wanted to see how many days are between today and your birthday, then you could use days 360, or today and the end of school. Then you could use 360. Now, days 360 does use all days, not just weekdays. Lookup and reference functions are going to find data for you that are in your cells. We will use lookup and VLOOKUP a lot. Lookup is going to you're going to put in your criteria for it to look through and look for, and it will find the answer for you by looking through your spreadsheet. You'll understand that a little bit more when we actually do it, but just know that it's going to find data that's within your spreadsheet. 3D formulas, we've already dealt a little bit with this. These are where you go and you can look within the same workbook. You can look through other sheets within that workbook to perform a calculation or to put a number in there. We dealt with these when we did formulas.